Another good way to block out a ball jointed doll is, obviously you're gonna draw it so that you have something to go by, right? Um, Basically, treat it like a paper doll. So say I for the that's what I did for the knees and elbow here. Let me try and find my layers. This is a file from forever ago. Yeah, okay, so here's my lower arm. There's my peanut piece, and there's my upper arm. And as you can see, I can find my peanut there. I drew the peanut in here, and then I drew the outline of the peanut on each respective arm piece. And you just paper doll it. So if I want, like, this is how far the joint can go, for example. I didn't mean to duplicate that twice. Why do I have two of that arm? Oh. It's hard to explain, but like with your rotation point, it'd be like, right about there on the beam piece. And you just boop, 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 boop. Oh, if I want this level of bend, I would have to cut out quite a bit more of this arm here, like this. I'd have to cut to here. I don't want to do that. I don't need that level of bend. You're just gonna paper doll that shit. And then, it'd scooch forward like that. And that's how I built the joints for Lala here. And I did the same for the knee. Basically, I drew the legs silhouette, and then you get a a sphere, and you can do it like this. A three sphere kind of layout is a good base for a doll knee if you want especially if you want this sphere part to be the kneecap. In Lala's case, the kneecap detail is sculpted onto the upper thigh piece. So it's just it's more of a capsule and less of a peanut joint. And the elbows have a little lip, just like this right here. That helps it lock. Your best bet to figure out joints is example, example, example. Look at sculpts, see what other people have done, see what they have engineered, see what they have over-engineered in the case of Fairyland. Their dolls are insane. They're like a action figure level of detail. It's crazy. But you can go as simple as, say, Mystic Kids. Like, my first doll was a Mystic Kids, and that's why the joints look like this, because my Mystic Kids OSD had literally basically just a capsule. A little slightly flat capsule for the elbows and knees, and that worked perfectly fine. And then you've got crazy stuff like Fifth Motif Vinitu, who looks incredible and is sadly recasted to Helen Beck, I assume. But when in doubt, Paper Doll will help you get a nice start. And otherwise, you're going to do a lot of testing in Blender if you can by rotating with your 3D cursor. And I'll show you that again. I put it in the other video, but so here's my 3D cursor in object node 3D cursor. I'm gonna put that right there. It disappears because I can't see it. Let me turn on my 3D cursor. And I will set an object node up here. Change that to 3D cursor, and now you can rotate based on your 3D cursor. This is how I test joints for. And you can only test so much digitally, and then you'll need to have a print, like a 3D print, and test from there. My kimono cabot, I had to revise the legs, I think, 3 times. And it was just the knee joint. Everything else was fine. It was just the knee joint because, yeah, I have a little change log in my files for it. So, as you can see, these are the first legs. You know, it's like a, you know, your peanut. You got your 3-circle joint here. It couldn't do much in the way of posing. It kind of worked, but it mostly just collapsed on itself. Um, and it just didn't have much mobility right here. So for the next version, I cut out, whoopsie, I cut out up here. I made the locks softer because they were really sticking in this one. So, you know, I cut out more here and here using a cutter object that was basically a slightly inflated version of the knee. And the ankle couldn't move, so I added ankle mobility by rotating the foot and cutting it. But that wasn't enough. I made larger channels, added a tail hole. Where's my other? Oh, it's in my D3. So the final legs, I had to entirely redesign them because Kimono is a digigrade anthro doll. The knee joint is angled kind of 45 degrees counterclockwise when it is standing, and this top nub and this bottom nub, if it collapsed on itself constantly all the time. In my older version here, like right here especially, like it had mobility, but it kept collapsing on itself, and that's because it didn't have anything to hold it up right here. So I added this nub. It needed it basically needed a tripod leg, so I added a third nub. You'll probably be doing a lot of that. Just think about how think about your center of mass, like art-wise. You know, like say I draw this stick figure man, and he's way over this way. His center of mass isn't going to be here anymore because it's going to be more like right here. So what I would need to do is add something to support it like this. And that is basically what I did for my knee joint right here. It needed something there because it is, you know, the center of gravity. It's more forward. You know, think of it like a box. And in the roughly in the middle of the box here, it needed this nub to help it hold up. And that's most of the tips I can think of. I'm self-taught. I'm not like a professional or anything, but it might be handy, might be useful. Good luck with sculpting if you do it, and have fun.